how this was organized, but I think this is truly shocking that 9 people have died in this car bomb. This is, I think, after a lot of, after a year that we have seen a deadly terror attack like this in Delhi, if I may call it a terror attack now. Bijesh.
Yes, Karthikeya, it all points towards this only because, you know, I mean, if you look at the fact that how it started at 6:55, 56, you know, fire tenders, fire services received a call saying that a blast has taken place, explosion has taken place basically outside gate number 1, a metro station near Red Fort. And you know, and earlier, the earlier input was that there was explosion in an eco van car, and after that, the impact of the explosion was such that the nearby 5 to 6 vehicles also caught fire. They were completely mangled, and what we knew early was that few people have been injured. Later on, the figure kept on rising from 1 to 2, and now we know for sure that from our LNJP sources that 9 people have died in Delhi Red Fort car blast case, and you know, all signals are pointing towards a potential terror attack. We'll have to wait and watch and find out, you know, from our sources within the Delhi Police and Ministry of Home Affairs about, you know, what exactly is the nature of this particular blast. But it doesn't look good, Karthik. It doesn't look good at all. And given the number of casualty which is there, which is 9, and it is bound to increase. You know, if you look at the fire flames which are there, and also the kind of impact of the explosions, you know, the entire car body parts were strewn all over the place, and the impact was extremely severe. You know, the sound of the explosion was heard 2.5 to 3 kilometers away from where the explosion took place, and it's all, you know, it all points towards something very, very sinister, Karthikeya.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, these are the visuals, these are the stories we are breaking. 9 deaths confirmed in the Delhi Red Fort car blast. It all points to a big terror attack that has taken place. We'll wait for an official confirmation part of the Delhi police, but 9 people have died. It's a big blast that has taken place. People could hear it at the ITO. My colleague Kabir also joins me. He will take you through the details of the blast that are pouring in. Kabir.
Absolutely, Karthikeya. I mean, you know, at about 6:30 this evening, the biggest problem for the Delhiites was the toxic air and the air emergency. But, you know, that complete piece was shattered with that loud explosion. We now have eyewitness accounts of how big this entire explosion was, the scale and the severity and the extent of the damage. Take a look at some of those cars that aren't left gutted. And this, again, a crucial piece of evidence. There are a lot of cars that don't look completely gutted. They did not get engulfed by fire, but they still have mangled portions of, you know, metal, which again goes on to show the amount of damage, the severity of the explosion, the strength of the explosion. It wasn't a small battery or an EV car explosion that took place, because earlier people were saying a lot of CNG auto rickshaws that were, you know, stranded there. This is again one of those places which is thronged by a lot of tourists, and if not tourists, you know, common citizens, you know, everyday citizens, people from all walks of life. Somebody is trying to get a, you know, nice escapade at Red Fort. Somebody on the other side trying to look at, you know, various markets. There's a big electronic market. There's a big food market. There's a big, you know, clothing and apparel market over there. A lot of people that throng over there. And the visuals that you see, our colleagues and correspondents right there on the ground, boots have been deployed to bring to you a clear-cut picture of exactly as to what happened. Nobody's trying to jump the gun here. Nobody's trying to create any kind of panic. What's important to note here, Karthikeya, are a couple of things that can help the cops piece by piece, you know, put this entire thing together. I say let's not put a number on the amount of cars that have been left completely gutted.
Kabir, if you look at these visuals, you know, the point I'm trying to make, which Yashovardhan Azad was saying, first thing, there is an odor to the blast, Kabir. Second, there is a radius to the blast, Kabir. And the third is the power of the fire. If you look at the power of the fire, it's a different thing. Now, so that is very, very important. Now, if you look at the power of the fire, all I mean is the burning temperature. Now, if the burning temperature is on the higher side, Kabir, I think that's really, really telling, because higher the burning side, it just goes on to tell us that some sort of explosive material was involved. Now, through the day, we were breaking the news that ammonium nitrate has been, you know, hauled. Earlier, the news was that there was RDX, but then it was said that it was ammonium nitrate. But the fact of the matter is, ammonium nitrate can be weaponized to such an extent that it can cause serious damage. Now, it has two implications. One, a terror attack in the National Capital Region, and
That to Red Fort. That to Red Fort.
And this is happening when Operation Sindoor is on a pause. There's a larger national security doctrine at play. We have said that if we find that the terror attack emanates from Pakistan, there will be a response. So this is not a limited issue. After articulation of Operation Sindoor, it has become a very important, I would say even a turning point between two countries now.
No, absolutely. The red lines on terrorism have completely been drawn, and we've told Pakistan time and again that their misadventures are going to be responded with in the same tone and tenor. And the ferociousness of our attack we've already seen in Operation Sindoor. But again, Karthike, let's not jump the gun. Let's see what the forensic teams and the forensic analysis tells us about, again, the power of the fire, the spray of the fire, the entire radius of this fire, because it's not just 6 to 7 cars. This is more than that. There's more than that. You've got a lot of CNG fitted cars over there. You've got a lot of electronic vehicles. You've got a lot of e-rickshaws, several EVs that were stood and parked over there. So we'll have to wait and find out as to what was the main reason behind it. Like Mr. Azad pointed out, we need the chassis number. We need to know who was the owner of that eco van. And many reports also saying this was a twin blast. We still need to know whether there were one car that exploded or there was another car that was exploded. But enough said. Let's listen to some more voices right there from the ground. These are eyewitness accounts, so bringing us the story of exactly how it happened this evening when the silence was peered through with this loud and massive bang. Listen into some of those voices.
हम ये देखे लपट देखा, अपने छत से देखा, तभी मैं नीचे उतर के आया कि जरा देखूं कहाँ क्या बम। बहुत जोर आवाज आई, बिल्डिंग खिड़की हिल गई, खिड़की हिल गई।
आवाज आई, धमाका हुआ तो मैं दुकान पे बैठ गई। पीछे मेरी दुकान है, यहीं पे दुकान है, यहीं पे तो मैं चेयर पे बैठा हुआ था। एकदम से अचानक इतनी तेज धमाका हुआ कि मेरे लाइफ में इतनी तेज मैंने अपनी आवाज़ के भी नहीं सुना। धमाके के दहल पे मैं 3 बार गिरा हूँ, उठाऊँ फिर गिरा हूँ, तो ऐसे धरती फटने वाला है, इतनी तेज धमाका हुई है। ठीक है, तो मैं दुकान छोड़ करके एकदम से
अभी हम पुलिस के साथ जो है कम्युनिकेशन कर रहे हैं इस मामले में, जिससे कि हमें एग्जैक्ट फिगर मिल सके। अभी तक हमारे पास कोई फिगर एग्जैक्ट नहीं है।
तो एग्जैक्टली कितनी गाड़ियां अभी भी वहाँ पर आपकी मौजूद है?
अभी सारी गाड़ियां वहीं मौजूद हैं, वही टीम सारी वहीं पर है। हमने विड्रॉ नहीं किया है अभी, क्योंकि वो लोग जो अगर कोई इंजरी है तो उसकी जो है कैजुअलिटी अगर कोई है तो उसकी जो है इन्फॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
इसके पीछे की का रीजन क्या समझ में आ रहा है सर?
देखिए, ये आप कैसे लगी, एक्सप्लोजन हुआ, ये कैसे हुआ, ये सब आप पुलिस से पूछिएगा। पुलिस इस बारे में आपको ज्यादा बता पाएगी।
तो सर आगे की अभी तैयारियां पूरी है? अगर यहाँ पर दोबारा से कुछ ऐसी चीजें होती है,
भगवान ना करे ऐसी चीज दोबारा हो या कोई इस तरह का कोई भी एक्सीडेंट दोबारा हो, बट दिल्ली फायर सर्विस हमेशा ही तैयार रहती है। जैसा कि आप खुद ही देख सकते हैं कि मात्र जो है 34 मिनट के अंदर इस आग को हमने बुझा दिया है।
घायलों का भी कोई यहाँ पर भी आया है?
अभी हमारे पास कोई सूचना नहीं है, हम इन्फॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं मैडम। थैंक यू।
Fire official, clearly the phones are ringing back to back. He seems to be a busy man right now. Everybody is tight-lipped, little mum, not divulging the actual figures because it is a sensitive issue. The location is sensitive again.